studying law. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming. Hey guys, it's your girl Sammie. You are watching Let's Talk Goals with Sammie on LegacyTV Dublin. Hey guys, it's your girl Sammie. Welcome back to yet another episode of Let's Talk Goals with Sammie. Today we are talking students and education life. My guest for tonight is a 21-year-old law student who is in her 4th year. She is the vice president for the Maynooth Africa Society, and she recently got a position for events at the African Student Association of Ireland. She is inspiring and she knows what she wants in life. This is a young leader who is upcoming and is ready to tackle the world. Please help me welcome Gloria Nkencho. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to Let's Talk Girls with Sammie. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
So I just want to tell my viewers, I met Gloria at an African Student Association of Ireland meeting. I was sharing the AGM and you just stood up and you're like, I'm going to go for a position.
Yeah.
Had you planned on going on a position?
No, I did not plan it at all. Like, as funny as I get shy and get nervous, but you know, as like it's my final year in college and I've always wanted to like make a change and make an impact. So I was like, you know what, just do something, try and conquer your fears. You always have to just take a step or something that you wouldn't usually do, and just do it. So that's why I was like, at last minute you saw because the people had run.
I saw the younger version of me in you. I was like, wait, what? You just stood up and like, I want to go for a position. I was like, that's it. Yeah. And you currently have my former position, events manager.
Yeah.
How's that going for yourself?
I love it. I really do. It's like I love organizing events, and like even when I started college in first year, I started as an assistant and events manager, then worked my way to the head of events, and now I'm vice president. Like I just love organizing things. I love engaging with students, and it's just something I like doing. So why not do it at a bigger level?
So talking about your position in Maynooth Africa Society, you are the vice president.
Yes.
How's that going for you?
Wow. I just love what I'm doing, love engaging with students, love being in a community, being in an environment that I can do things to help people and to further myself and to, network and meet people like you and get invited to things like this. And get invited to things like this. It's just amazing. It's challenging, but I love it. I'm really challenging.
It's very challenging because I'm the former president for my Africa Society and the stress was so much. How do you handle the stress?
How do I handle my stress? That's a very good question. I don't know if I handle it as much as I just cope with it and I just do what I gotta do. Like stress is something that I know is gonna come, so I expect it. And because I expect it, I'm able to like just overcome it and make the best of what I'm doing. So I handle my stress and the best I can.
I swear sometimes you want to punch and kill the community members.
But I think it's best when you feel that way, you just talk to them and be like, you're doing this, you're doing that, cut it out or get out.
So as a young leader, what advice would you give people that want to go into the venture of becoming a leader?
You just have to go for it. Like, I always say this to my siblings as well, do not be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid of ridicule. You just have to go for it, because to be a leader, you have to crawl your way to the top. You have to like encourage people, because to be a leader is a lot. It's a lot to be a leader, but it's something that you will feel so fulfilling and you will just feel so happy. The fact that that you're inspiring leaders and you're inspiring people as well, it's just something that you just have to go for it and not be afraid, even if you don't get it the first time, you just keep trying and keep pushing.
Keep trying and keep pushing. So you can't give up on your dream. You have to keep trying and keep pushing. Okay, so you're in your final year.
Yes.
How's that going?
Final year is stressful.
I can imagine.
Stressful. But we're getting through it.
So what are you studying? What is the full degree?
The name of my degree is a Bachelor of Civil Law International because I did an Erasmus. So I'm studying law and business, so yeah, the corporate side of law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, corporate lawyer. All right. So the reason why I brought you on this show is just to talk about your goals as a young leader, as a student, an African student living in Ireland. How is the stigma of, you know, how we are structured to be in a certain place, especially when we're not in a country that is our own. You're from Africa, you're African descent. People structure you to do certain things. How do you feel motivated to go into things that you like to do?
Well, basically, I'm motivated in terms of if people label me as something, I want to prove them wrong.
Yes.
So that's where I get my motivation from. It pushes me more when I feel that people have doubted me and don't think I can go where I'm supposed to go. So that is what motivates me, that's what pushes me. So like even within my African society, even if ISU has a stigma against us, we go beyond what they expect and we push beyond that. So that is where I get my motivation from, and that's where I get my drive.
So what is next for you? Like once you graduate, are you going to run for another position in the African Student Association of Ireland, or what are your plans?
Okay, so currently my plans is to do a master's degree, and in terms of aside, I do hope to further my roles there.
You want to get my job, don't you?
I have thought about running for SG.
Secretary General.
I have.
Bill's fully going for my life. you went for events, which I was PRO and events. So now you want to go for Secretary General.
I thought about it. I said I'm going for it, but I thought about it. It's something that sometimes I'm scared to take a jump, but if I'm scared, then that means I should do it.
I don't think you should be scared. I think you should. You're a young leader. You know what the young want. So go for it.
Oh.
See, this is coming from a man.
A
leader to a leader. Alright, so what are your goals?
My ultimate goal is to be an agent of change, and I wish and I hope to use the law to do that. I want to become a solicitor, but I don't want to stop there. I have business ideas and business venture. I want to be my own boss. I want to get to a point that I don't have to exchange my time for money. I want to change.
Making my blood run.
I just want to get to a position that my time is in exchange for money. I want to be my own boss, self-sufficient, and make an impact. That is my ultimate goal. Own businesses, own ventures, and also give back. I remember that I'm a Nigerian. So I always want to go back to Nigeria and build something. Even start a new lighting company. We have one, and that's it.
What is it? A lighting company?
Yeah, that take light whenever they basically they're a monopoly business. So like to go back and even do things like that, because I just see a lot of niches in Africa and Nigeria that I just want to go back, taking the knowledge that I've learned here and my new mindset, and hopefully change the mindset back in Africa too. Like I said, just change. That's what I want to do. So being a solicitor, being able to use the law to my advantage and just grow from there.
Yeah. So speaking of Nigeria, you're originally...
I'm Nigerian, Igbo.
Igbo.
Yeah, Igbo.
Yeah, Igbo. That's good help.
Well, my father is Delta Igbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, not a lot of people think about going back to their country of origin. How long have you been in Ireland?
I've been in Ireland 16 years.
16 years?
Yeah.
And you're 21 years?
Yes.
So that means you went to school in Nigeria?
Probably a year in school in Nigeria before I came to Ireland. I started seeing infants here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people choose going back to their country and making a difference or making a change. What advice would you give young people that are currently living in Ireland that originate from different African countries in terms of back home?
Back home. You shouldn't forget back home. Like, no matter if you're born, like I've been here 16 years and I've never traveled back, but my heart is still
You've never traveled back?
My heart is still in Nigeria because I feel like because we're brought here, we're given a new opportunity. You don't understand the level that you're at, the pedestal that you're on. So why can't you use it to help our people? Like the mindset that they have in Nigeria and Africa is not the same mindset that you have here. And if you're able to have that mindset and go back, and even if you make a little bit of change, it's gonna like there's a ripple. It will spread out, and then you wouldn't be so ashamed of where you come from, because I know there's a stigma, oh, Africa has drugs and stuff like that. So us that are here, we're supposed to help people that are back home, even if it's just a little bit. You invest in a little business, you go back, you start something. It doesn't take any skin off you, doesn't do anything. If anything, your degree or whatever, your mindset is going to be worth so much more back home than it is here. They will appreciate you a lot more, and you feel so much better, you feel more fulfilled. So yeah.
I feel so inspired already. There was a saying, actually, me and a couple of friends from Nigeria were talking about the medical issues that are currently in Nigeria. So I personally met Obasanjo, your former president. Yes, I was so excited, and he was just like, Nigeria is fine. He was like, there's nothing wrong with Nigeria. And I'm like, sir, what are you planning on doing with the medicals and everything? What would you say about that?
I would say Nigeria has a long way to go. Nigeria could be one of the richest countries in Africa, but it just has a long way to go because of the people that are in power. And obviously because people in power have the same mindset. Maybe even if they came from a poor background, it's the poverty mindset. Let me grab what I can grab now and go back. Whereas people who have actually schooled in the bottom, who don't have that kind of poverty mindset, will know that it's better to share, it's better to spread out our resources and do things like that. Nigeria is not fine. Nigeria needs help. And us that were in this position, in a new country, we are the ones that are going to change it. We are the ones that are going to bring in that new way of thinking, that new way of doing things, this new system, us. So why can't we help our people? Why can't we go back? Why do we want to stay here, get a mortgage and die?
Get a mortgage and die.
That's it. That's what you do. You stay here, you get a mortgage, you pay the bank, and die. The rich get richer, the poor stay poor.
So, what's your thoughts on leaders that fly to different countries for medical assistance, where they have graduates, medical students that are graduating in medicine? They're not getting employment in terms of jobs, becoming doctors, while they studied to be that, and yet the leaders are actually flying out to different countries to get medical assistance.
Sorry, do you mean that
what's your thoughts
our Nigerian leaders are flying out? It just goes to show you don't trust your people. Like if you're in a country, you're empowering the country, and you don't even trust your own medical system, what does that say about what you're doing? That you have to leave your country to somewhere else. So you don't have faith in your own country. So who's the issue now? You're empowered to change, but you don't even trust your country, that you have to leave it. So that just shows how the state of Nigeria right now, and you're still saying that Nigeria is fine. It's obviously not fine if you're trying to run away from it. You're supposed to be changing it, but instead you're running, and you're not giving the graduates their jobs. You're not giving them. You give them the business that they need. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if they're running away from getting medical care in a country that they're supposed to be helping, a country that they have faith in, what does that say about
the country that they're leading as well?
What does that say about the state of the country?
So if you had an opportunity to become the president of Nigeria, what is the first thing that you would change?
What is the first thing I would change? Well, education.
Education.
That is the first thing that would change, would be education, because I feel like what you teach a child from birth is what's going to follow them. I think the Bible says, bring a child up in a way, so when they're older they will not depart from it. So when you start conditioning a child from young, when you start changing their mindset, and you even in the kind of mindset that I have because of where my parents brought me, you start from young and they're able to grow in that way, those are the people that are going to change. So I would start from the children in Nigeria, change their education, give them an opportunity, because Nigeria and Africa is just a hub of talent, raw, unharvested, untouched talent that just don't have the opportunities or the resources to grow. So if I'm able to start something that can give people the opportunity or the platform to grow and develop their skills, that's where I'll start. And I believe that education, and just not even the standard education of read your book and do this and do that, but just like a platform that if you're an artist, somewhere that you can sing, where you can draw, where you can actually be heard and be seen, and not just let your talent die. Like for example, comedians who are in villages, people always know him as, oh, that guy is really funny, but that's all he's ever going to be known as the funny guy, and then he just dies in the village and that's the end. But like if I'm able to bring them out, to give them a platform or resources so that they can explore their talent and do what makes them happy, then that will change their mindset. That will change how people see things in Nigeria.
Yeah, we need more leaders like Gloria. So let's talk Gloria. Tell us a bit about yourself.
In terms of what you basically said. In
terms of, are you single?
I am currently single.
No ring. This is so many rings.
Am I single? I'm currently seeing somebody. Let's say I'm dating.
You're seeing someone?
Yeah, I'm dating.
Oh, sorry guys.
But no, like my.
Wait, I learned how to say sorry in I think it's Yoruba. Pele. Is it Yoruba?
Pele, yeah.
Pele, guys. She's talking.
That's just saying that my focus is not on boys.
Okay. Yeah. Why would you go for boys or those men?
My focus is not on men, I should say, yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to better myself.
Alright, so shame, I'm sorry. I had a whole speech planned out for you.
What was your speech?
I was gonna say yes guys, I'll put her number in the link. Yeah, so when do you think you'll be ready?
Ready for it?
Because you say your mind is not focused on men right now.
When will I be ready? Yeah. I think I'll be ready when God says so.
Well put. Yeah, what age do you think you're gonna get married at?
I always love to get married when I'm like 26.
27, yeah? Yeah, I think that most girls are 26, 27.
I know my mom wants me to get married when I'm like 24.
No, your parents, when you hit 22,
they're like, where is your married?
Yeah, getting over in this house.
Yeah, but 26, 27.
Yeah. It's so funny because when you're 16, it's like, I don't want to see you talk to that boy.
And then it's like, hello.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you spoke about you focusing on you and not being ready for a relationship. What are you mainly focusing on at the moment besides education?
I'm focusing on outside education because I'm trying to see what I can do outside of education. My head is just full of ideas and businesses, and me and my friend just currently starting something new. So I'm trying to.
Do you want to share?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe
you don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it. Yeah, but like I said, a billionaire always has 7 sources of income. So education is one. My business is going to be the next one, and then I'll look for my 5 others. So yeah, I'm currently looking into that direction.
You better not leave me.
Oh gosh, never.
You have to say it on the air so I can sue you. No, but that's very interesting. It's very inspiring and empowering to see a young 21-year-old. What was I? Where were you at 21? What was I doing? No, I can't even say because I was graduating for my first degree.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's inspiring as well.
I guess we're here for you. So I want to know, I just want to know what pushes you, what drives you, what is your main alarm clock?
My parents.
Really?
Some they pressure me, but I just see how much they've put into me and how much I feel like they've really invested in me, and just to be able to do them proud and to do myself proud will be such an achievement. And because I have siblings, I want them to follow in that footpath. I want them to be able to push themselves and do something, and charity begins at home. So if I'm able to do it myself, I can talk to them and say, well, I did it, so you can do it too. So that kind of way. So I just want to be an inspiration to my siblings, but also just to make my parents proud, make something of myself while they're still here.
So I call you the firstborn?
No, I'm actually not the firstborn.
Oh, okay.
I have an older brother, he lives abroad as well. So he's doing his thing as well. So, I'm looking at him, I'm like, he's doing his thing, I need to do my thing. So my little brother and my little sister can do their thing too.
Yeah. Well, that is so inspiring. So it's a way of giving back to your parents and just saying thank you. I think the biggest thank you that a young daughter can give the parents is bride price. So yes, that's our next topic. What do you think about bride price? Is it right? Is it wrong? What's your take on it?
Well, I'm a very traditional person, and for me, bride price goes back. It's a diary. It goes back in the day. So I don't feel like there's anything wrong. It's respecting my tradition. It's not. I know people say, "Oh, you're selling your daughter," but you're not. For me, it's purely just tradition, and I respect tradition. Before I have a white wedding, I need to go back to Nigeria. I have my traditional marriage, and my dowry.
So now you're gonna go back to Nigeria.
And my dowry is part of my tradition. So if the person that I'm gonna get married to, or want to get married to, can't respect that, then clearly they're not for me.
Yeah. See, the reason I asked you is because a lot of young girls that are growing up in Ireland have this idea of, okay, now that I'm in Ireland, I don't need to get bride price. Well, now that I'm in Ireland, I don't need to date someone and then pay dowry. That's what I was asking. So, what do you think about living abroad and keeping the culture?
It's all well and good to live abroad. It's all well and good to live abroad, but
it's nice games.
It's all nice games, but I always say God forbid, if it was World War III, and they're like, you know what, they're like, you know, every person, every black person, go back to your country or whatever, we can't sustain you. But even if you have a red passport, the fact that this is the color of your skin, you are not from Ireland. Do you know what I mean? Like, your heritage, where your lineage, everything is back home. So you shouldn't like deny your culture. You shouldn't like throw it away. Like, I understand, like, it's not a perfect, like, Africa's not a perfect continent, and your country might not be perfect, but you know what? You could be the reason why it changes. You could change that stigma. If your country, Congo, Nigeria, became as big and as popular as like places like America, you wouldn't deny it. So you could be the reason that it could change. So never ever run away from your culture, because it's, at the end of the day, it's what made you who you are. It's what made your parents who they are, their grandparents, everybody. It all stemmed from somewhere, and they came from that place. So at the end of the day, even if you don't want it, it's still who you are.
It's still who you are.
It's best to embrace it. Exactly. Don't run from it. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Oh, that is so inspiring. So guys, you've heard it from Gloria herself. This is a young, upcoming leader. They need to watch out, yeah? I need to watch out. I mean, hey. So, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat. I don't really use my Facebook. I'm on Twitter as well.
Yeah. So what's your handles?
Okay. My Twitter is Glowpops. It's GLOPOPZ. My Instagram is CHI_Nkencho, NKENCHO. My Snapchat is.
I swear, it's probably that name. You know those names
that
we used when we were young. Yeah.
I don't want to say I can't look at or something below. Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Do you just want to say a word of encouragement to the viewers? Someone who's young and wants to venture in leadership, what would you say?
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
That is the best thing I would say to you, is just don't be afraid. Just go for it, and do not be afraid of failure.
Yeah, don't be afraid of failure. Well guys, you've heard it from Gloria herself. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like, share, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, and stay tuned. Thank you so much for coming.
No problem. Thank you for having me.